Aliens. Conspiracy theories. Aliens too. Conspiracy theories. Welcome to Conspiracy theories.
Welcome to Conspiracy Theories, where we discuss conspiracy theories with other adults. The only conspiracy theory podcast on iTunes.
Wait, is it actually?
I'm Eric, joined by Matthew.
Hello.
David.
Hello.
And Will.
Good to be here.
Tonight's theorist is Dave. What'd you draw?
Well, I don't even think we need to really debate this one because the facts are kind of there. But I am here to discuss whether or not major political and corporate figures in North America and the world are in fact not humans, but alien reptilians from the fifth dimension.
Lizard people.
Yes, the lizard people.
No.
That is what I am purporting to believe for the purposes of moving forward. But actually, the evidence is solid.
It's going to be hard to scale back on puns.
Well, none of us are. Oh, well, you're laughing now, but when you said lizard people, none of us laughed because we can all agree that they do exist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a really long tail to imagine that they don't.
Oh, the tail. And you know what? When people try to cut it down, they cut off that tail. But you know what? People have hard evidence; it just grows right back.
So over the course of the podcast, I'm going to be asking you some very serious questions.
Okay. All right. Can I also actually compliment how you are presenting your argument? Last week, if anybody remembers, Callum brought in a book report reminiscent of something of the Zodiac Killer, in his own words. Would have
a tablet?
Just a bunch of things scrawled on paper. Dave has a tablet with him.
Yeah,
So
it looks like an email he sent to himself.
that is correct.
So he has a backup of this document.
Email, the most universally accepted document editing software.
If you email it to yourself, it's copywritten. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's not true.
Oh.
But it does make Dave feel less lonely.
That's a different conspiracy.
All right,
in its entirety.
Tell us about lizard people.
All right. The main sort of source of the conspiracy in my research is that there is a cover-up. And that cover-up serves to be, I'm going to go ahead and say, a bulk of the evidence, but the main kind of points were put out by David Icke, who wrote a book called The Biggest Secret, the book that changed the world.
Wait, is he talking about his own book?
In the byline, the book that changed the world.
This is also the same guy who on national television said, "I'm not saying I'm not Jesus Christ."
You're not hearing it.
But if I was, this is how you'd be treating him. Like,
okay,
what a nutbag.
now this seems to be the central approach of all. I don't know, what are we going to call? First of all, let's settle on some nomenclature. Lizard people is fine, but I think it might be
Lizzies.
See, that's the accepted slang.
Lizzie Captains.
Thin Lizzies.
Thin Lizzies.
That's also, they don't like that.
The boys are back in town, though. Agree on that.
Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak. I don't have anything.
It's really
a scale break.
Niche puns when you can bust out the hard-hitting Thin Lizzy jokes.
That's what people want from conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
They come here because they know there will be very specific niche puns.
Coming up on our next podcast, Niche Puns.
So, I want to try to prove to you guys. Fuck, you couldn't do it. I tried to say iguana, but it didn't work.
I'm gonna shed my skin and let you convince me that they do exist.
This is terrible. Okay, so The Biggest Secret, the book that changed the world. I'm assuming at least second issue because you wouldn't put that in the first pressing.
I'm surprised that title made it past the editing stage.
Well, it has to be self-published.
Nobody had the heart to tell him a book called The Biggest Secret, the book that changed the world.
Yeah, like he chose that
This was a conscious decision.
before it was released.
I've seen better, more sort of self-awareness in the bad band names and like the musicians wanted section on Craigslist that title is portraying. But go ahead, convince me of lizard people.
It was. I think it is released under an imprint called David Icke Books.
My books.
Photocopied books.
Okay, so the basic premise of this, for those that
I think someone tried to hand me like an issue outside of the Eaton Center once.
Wait, isn't David Icke the guy who just like stands there and shouts praise Jesus in the corner of Young and Dundas?
No, that's Toronto Batman.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, TV.
Sure.
Is Xanta a lizard person?
Xanta was actually Balls Mahoney from ECW.
No shit. That's pretty amazing.
I actually have some identifying factors of how to find lizard people, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, okay, all right.
We can run that against the Xanta test.
We're 8 minutes in and we haven't begun.
Yep.
Or have we? Conspiracy.
This is like the
Debunked. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so thousands of years ago, according to The Biggest Secret, the book that changed the world.
Can you stop saying The Biggest Secret, because that's really distracting.
I want to find this secret colon and penetrate it for its mystery.
If you had a big secret colon, it would be very distracting.
I'll make it bigger.
Is that like a big comfy couch?
Wait, let's stretch the truth of the secret colon.
I've got an idea for the episode name. Conspiracy Theories Episode 2 : Okay. Reptilian beings from the constellations of Orion, Sirius, and Draco constellations intervened on planet Earth and began interbreeding with humans. Not through sex, but by manipulating human DNA with their advanced reptilian brains. Now, it sounds like a load of baloney, right?
No.
It sounds like the mayor of Baloney Town.
That sounds pretty ridiculous.
Right, but if that isn't true, how come there's a part of our brain that is identical to the reptile brain?
Mariloni. That's what we would call him at Twitter.
Wait, what?
The mayor of Baloney Town.
Oh, I thought you were responding
Mariloni.
There's a part of our brain called the R complex, the reptilian complex, that is completely reptile.
Is that what makes my tongue do this?
For those of you that can't see this at home, Matt
ate a fly.
Yeah, Matt ate a fly. It is the part of our brain that controls our base and more like sinister needs, and it is in every one of us.
So I guess that's why we call it the lizard brain when, we're such colloquially. Just like, me and my lizard brain and my bad intentions, or am I the only person who does that?
I think
I've never heard of that.
Never heard that expression before.
All right.
Wait, do you actually do this, or are you making a joke?
No, I'm serious.
You actually say, "Well, me and my lizard brain."
Yeah, because
right.
it's a lesser brain. It's a less evolved
You said it in
brain.
your company.
Yeah. I wanted these Smarties from the dollar store, but I didn't have $1, so me and my lizard brain took them.
That's not quite it, but that's
Lizards are known thieves.
Yeah.
I took one shot of whiskey and I'm already slurring.
Cause whiskey is theory.
Here's the thing about snakes.
So,
Mayor of Baloney Town.
now we can start to see the cover-up happening. Because, I mean, if that isn't true, Adam and Eve, manipulated by the snake.
Okay.
If they didn't have sex, how did they have children? Reptile manipulation. All of this is covered up by the church. Church is very powerful. I do a lot of these hanging things. Okay?
I'm going to try to say what you say as you do them.
and that's actually the end of the point.
Oh, okay. Powerful.
Yeah.
It's hard to take you seriously because you're the only one here wearing a wedding ring.
You're right.
You're talking
take it
about
off
lizard people.
podcast.
Yeah. Like you're supposed to be the smart one, like the responsible one.
I should take it off because I'm technically
I
cheating.
thought it was an Ouroboros costume on your finger. Did I nail that pronunciation?
That's a niche pun.
I call it Ouroboros.
Ouroboros?
But I don't know. I'm probably also not pronouncing that.
I said Ouroboros.
Ouroboros?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about, so good one, Eric.
Ouroboros.
Okay.
Ouroboros is the snake that eats its own tail,
I thought it was the Northern Lights.
which is also
That's a Ronan Borneolis.
also a thing that is
Ouroboros.
tattooed.
That's Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, Ouroboros is also actually tattooed on 7 out of 10 Nine Inch Nails fans.
Oh,
Probably
from
either on the
Hemlock
lower
Grove.
back. From Hemlock Grove.
I want to call
Got
the
it.
next band Ouroboros.
Antonio Banderas.
The ungoogleable name.
Antonio Baloneyville.
Banderas.
Ouroboros, colon, the ungoogleable name.
Okay, so we have
The
this.
band that changed the world.
Just one Pepsi. All I wanted was a Pepsi. Just one Pepsi.
Okay, so we have this cover up.
Okay.
Clearly, this is one of the founding points of the cover up. Is that, what really happened in the Garden of Eden? The church wants to keep that under wraps.
Because it was a lot of
Stays in the
fucking.
Garden of Eden, am I right?
Right?
Yeah. Bound chicka bound.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck that snake.
Okay, so that also leads me to question: did they have wah-wah pedals in the Garden of Eden?
Yes.
Because how would we know if they were knocking boots if you didn't have the bow chicka wow wow?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a totally different conspiracy altogether.
Yeah.
Whether or not there were advanced fuzz harmonics in the Garden of Eden,
Yeah.
I think there were. Because, the song In the Garden of Eden,
baby.
baby, has so many wah-wahs in it.
It's like seven wah-wahs. All playing at the same time.
wah, wah.
Which is like traditional, like Native American song structure.
Which actually, what I just said translates to lizard people in one of many traditional Native American tongues,
It's also what babies say when they cry.
because they're uncomfortable with the fact.
That they have the reptilian DNA in their
Now
brain
you're
cells.
picking up what
Here
I'm
we
putting
go.
down. Okay.
It's weird that you mention Inagata de Vida by
Sorry,
Iron
what?
Butterfly.
Who?
Inagata de Vida?
The
don't know
actual name for
No, sorry,
Garden
In the
of
Garden of Eden.
Oh, okay, great song,
I'm
great
sorry.
song.
I was
Great song.
I was just
Are you
talking to my friend
swearing?
from New Jersey.
Are you drunk too?
Nah, yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Anyways, but when you play that song backwards, it unveils the whole.
It's his book?
What really happened in the Garden of Eden, and it turns out that it was the biggest secret. The shenanigans in the garden that changed the world.
Was that released on Apple Records?
I was.
Oh, good joke. The Beatles.
Thank you.
The Beatles.
I saw Marcus on the phone last night. He's like, "Can I be on your podcast?" I was like, "Maybe." I was like, "Are you good at improv? Like, are you like, I never really kind of riffed with you." And he's like, "Oh no." I was like, "Well, let's just go through a joke." And within 2 sentences, he was screaming at me,
Yes, he can be on the podcast.
perfect.
just yell like, and I was like, "No, like you're not really like yes ending." He's like,
For those
"Yes
of you,
and fucking what?" Like. Finish your fucking point. Like you're talking about fucking boulders in the fucking Saudi Arabia. Like I don't know what the fuck's happening here. Like he's just like screaming at me. I was like, no, Mark. Like I'm just making a joke. He's like, oh, but like
What's the joke?
went back to the original point and just started screaming at me all over again. I was like, I don't know if you made this tryout, Marcus.
Yeah,
But, maybe
that was our one test. Okay, so the medical staff that you've seen, the logo of most doctors,
yep.
what is it?
It's a snake
serpents.
wrapped around a pole.
Right. So what if the pole
Was my pole.
or
Nope. Lost me. No and.
what if the pole is man and they are wrapped around in what kind of a configuration?
DNA. A DNA configuration.
A double
How did
helix.
he say the right one and you said snake?
No, man, I'm on board with this, dude.
I'm funnier.
I got
Snakes.
points. I got proof.
Snakes manipulating our DNA, and this is used by. I didn't have to look at this, but it's used by
Humans.
doctors.
Aha.
Doctors have
PhDs.
Brains.
money,
Oh, money. Okay.
and money makes them
powerful.
Yes, there we go.
Pow,
Right?
pow, pow, pow. Everybody snake now.
All right. So I mean,
We can use that, right?
Yeah.
We can
this
good.
is this is pretty. you know,
New theme song.
it's pretty obvious stuff so far. Everybody's snake now.
Dude, I'm on board with you. I'm on board.
According, come on, snake.
Everybody get up, it's time to snake now. We got a real snake going down. Welcome to the Snake Jam. It's your chance, do your dance at the Snake Jam. Nix that, Eric.
I'll have to.
Banana split those tracks.
Do not dare. Okay, according to a recent poll,
Right.
not Matt's poll,
Oh, the pole that the snakes wrapped around?
No.
if that was the one, these statistics might be misleading, but it's not. It's a different poll.
I want to let you guys know that Dave just took off his shirt and revealed a tattoo on his arm, making him
there's a
look
tattoo.
more badass. So I'm
Yeah.
going to believe everything he
Except
says.
it's a girl tattoo because his wife has one too.
Ew.
I really should take off my wedding ring during this podcast.
Gay.
According to recent polls, 12 million Americans believe that the government and corporations are infiltrated by lizard people.
Now, I'm going to let you finish that point because I believe it, because it's true. It's factual. I have a whole other philosophy behind it, but I'm going to let you finish before I tap into any of this.
Kanyeing
because
me right now?
I'm Kanyeing you. I'm going to let you finish, but I got the best point of all time.
All right, we'll give it.
I believe the opposite of who's infiltrated the lizard people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the powerful and the rich. I think it's the stupid and the shitty.
The shitty.
Yeah, the stupid and shitty. Now, I got some points here that I've made very, very clear in my own notes. I believe that American football fans are lizard people.
Okay.
Tailgate.
Which would be the name of the conspiracy that tried to cover this up.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Also, side note, episode title. Please continue.
Also, side note, the
Okay.
stupid and the shitty was my 5-word review of Fast and Furious. So I just want that on record that I'm being plagiarized.
It's an incorrect.
Now, let me do this up for you guys. Okay, so 12.5 million people, you said, Americans, believe that lizard people exist.
Yep.
Okay? Now, I believe that American football fans are all lizard people.
Okay.
If you add up the totals of every attendance capacity of every college and full football stadium in the States, it reaches just over 10 million.
Okay.
Okay? So, I'm thinking a gladiator-esque where lizard people come and watch humans fight themselves.
Like the Gorn.
And injure themselves.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So I think it's a whole conspiracy where all these lizard people come to watch humans fight and injure each other, and it gives them pleasure.
Oh my god.
Now, if any of you...
It's cold-blooded.
That is cold-blooded.
It's cold-blooded.
So
Check it and see.
If we're following that sort of train of logic, then the creators and producers of America's Funniest Home Videos
Are also lizard people.
are also lizard people. That means Bob Saget is a lizard person.
And to Matt's point, the reason that the XFL was unsuccessful is because it was an attempt by free humans to make their own football, and it was shut down by the corporate lizard people Illuminati.
You know what? That just makes too much sense.
I know.
See?
Yeah.
Guys. Because I believe you. I know lizard people exist, but I don't think that they're high up. I think they're at the bottom. I think they literally are lizards.
And if 12...
I've actually been doing a lot of research on lizard people since I heard about it. And I've made a top 5 reptilian celebs list.
Okay.
Let's hear that.
You guys just bear with me.
If any of your football
if
players...
you wouldn't-
Some of these are fucking crazy. I didn't really I didn't expect any of this.
If you didn't say bear with me and just said
Snake
I'm gonna be dragging you guys along on this one. I'm just saying, you could edit
Yeah, but
my
now try
voice
again.
in you doing it.
Number 5, Anderson Cooper.
Definitely a lizard person.
Totally lizard person.
Black-ish? What's the ish?
Wait, what?
Oh, I thought you meant Anthony Anderson. No banana.
All right. So besides Anthony Anderson Cooper,
Well, I guess Anderson Cooper is like an emissary to humankind. I mean, the snakes must communicate through Anderson Cooper.
yeah. But look at his like really cold, beady eyes. And,
The coldest and beadiest eyes.
He's actually part of the Vanderbilt family, who are argued to be the oldest reptilian family.
Interesting.
Oh, the house at Vanderbilt?
Nope.
Oh, Anthony Anderson.
Unrelated. He's also been voted sexiest man alive by me since 1985
Okay.
for every single year that I was born.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, I would fuck that snake. Who is also a Vanderbilt, though?
I don't know.
John Hammond.
Oh, I love him in Mad Men.
I was gonna say Mad Men.
No, John Hammond. And what did he Vanderbilt?
I don't know.
Jurassic Park.
There you go.
Shit.
Yeah, myth validated.
Yep. There we go.
Wait,
Still fuck that lizard. Number 4.
wait, 4? I thought you just said 2.
Well, top 5.
And Anthony Anderson. So it's
That's 3, so you have 2 left.
We're not
Number
going.
4, musical performer Lord.
Lord is a lizard?
I'm only adding that so I can make the joke. I, for one, welcome our new reptilian overlord.
That makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense that he would
Yeah.
add that to make that joke.
Yeah, that's
Also,
yeah.
did you guys notice,
That's a
like,
total Eric
when
move.
you're doing, like, research,
On reptile people?
was GeoCities, like, the only non-Illuminati web hosting service? Or conspiracy theories just untrustworthy of anything beyond HTML?
Every website was like
Had a dancing baby on it.
shitty forums and GIFs.
Just .gif Ruby on Rails a chance.
Well, I don't know, man. If you want the truth, you go to GeoCities. Like that's how that shit works.
Geo? Isn't
Earth?
that...
Now you're speaking your
Cities?
language.
Isn't that what? Cities?
I thought Geo was something reptilian related.
Wait.
Nope.
GeoCities. Okay. We're skipping ahead in my notes a little bit here, but I think this needs to be addressed now. Often, when asked where are these reptile people and where do they live?
Where are these people?
Yeah, when
That's
asked
Seinfeld.
by Seinfeld.
Pretty good, eh?
Banana that.
When asked where do these reptile people live, often people say they live within the earth, in the hollow earth.
They're GeoCities.
Oh, now we're crossing streams.
Whoa.
We're crossing theoretical streams.
Why not?
Hollow Earth and lizard people.
Lizard people live in the hollow earth. This was very much a main. If you had done your research,
What are you trying to prove, Dave? First it's lizard people, now it's Hollow Earth. You know what? I think you're one of them.
This sounds like lizard talk to me.
I sound like lizard talk.
If I
You speak with a
hold
forked tongue, sir.
Dave down, will
forked
you rip
tongue.
off his face?
Anyway, as I continue to research jokes concerning programming,
So fuckable
See,
celebrities.
you're joking. This is the thing. Now, I don't want to call you out, but Anthony Anderson...
Cooper.
but I found out there's a programming language called Django, and I wonder if it's a non-chain based language.
Sorry, you researched.
One person's gonna get that joke.
You
No,
researched.
Django Unchained is the silent D, and the D stands for
So what? Unchained?
dragons.
No, Dragons Unchained.
Khaleesi. I'm onto something here.
Please continue your list.
Number 3, Scooby-Doo.
Interesting.
Why?
Stay with me.
Okay.
Can't leave the house yet.
2010 series Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated confirmed that talking animals are descended from the Anunnaki deities, who are Greek deities who are largely believed to be the first people to visit the Sumerians from Mesopotamia, who are now Iraq. And they're responsible for these talking animals in that mythology.
Sure.
But that's where the lizard people originally come from. It's like Sumerian texts where they explain like these alien invaders. So they confirm in an episode that Scooby-Doo is descended from these Anunnaki,
I didn't know Scooby-Doo had like lore.
Yeah, so he's got like that's how they explain in that universe talking animals.
Gorge, Mickey. They're on to me.
Not Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
But it's another talking animal.
Oh.
So now I wonder, is the Olong Johnson cat also a lizard?
I don't know what that is.
Google it.
What about Scat Cat?
I thought we couldn't Google.
Well, I eyes ya.
What about... So is Donald Duck like a half-breed because he can't speak fully English?
I don't think it's possible for Donald Duck to be a half-breed because he was a member of the Nazi Party at one point. So that sort of blows that out of the
Let's just say he's quackish.
That's going to be the best callback of our entire night. Your list, please continue. Scooby-Doo.
Well, no, yeah, so Scooby-Doo is number 3. Number 2, Godzilla.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But hold on, this actually makes a lot of sense when you hear it.
Wait, how do you spell Godzilla?
Godzilla.
Oh, I thought there was R's in there. I gotta check my notes.
Banana.
I tried to look him up earlier and I couldn't because I thought it was Godzirra.
Banana. What are you, Mickey Rooney?
2 R's for a double dose of racism. There we go.
Racism.
That was a good episode of Scooby-Doo.
Number 2, Godzilla.
It's hard-hitting.
The gang confronts their xenophobia.
I like where they pull the mask off of the monster and it's Samuel L. Jackson and he was just like, yes, they deserve to die and I hope they burn in hell. That was so fucking powerful.
They pull a mask off the...
And then Freddy pulled off his shirt and just stayed that way for the entire remainder of the episode.
Freddy in this, obviously played by Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the best part about teenagers who drive around solving mysteries in vans?
What?
I keep getting older. They stay the same age.
At the end of the episode, when they confront the racist ghost and they pull Bigot's mask off, and it's just a mirror.
Oh Jesus!
Right?
Yeah, no, that's hard. It's hard hitting.
This has terribly derailed. I'm not technically on my third point yet.
It's all right.
How many points do you have?
No, I'm just making a joke.
Callum had 1. And the rest were made up.
Okay, Godzilla. This makes sense when we hear it.
Yeah,
actually,
this actually is very interesting.
Let's go back to Godzilla.
A lot of sense. So, Godzilla, I mean, yeah, known to be a man in a rubber suit, obviously. But the most prominent actor in the suit from the 1950s to 70s was a man named Shinei Tokuge.
Okay.
And Godzilla was largely born out of the aftermath of Hiroshima. And the Toho company, who like owned the licensing, like made a giant lizard monster character as like a subtle fuck you to those in the Illuminati behind the tragic bombing.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, that makes a lot of
Like,
sense.
it makes like a ton of sense. Like
Total sense.
But like kind of like their version of like the Mickey Rooney, like I guess in a way, like like a fuck you. However, it's largely suspected that Shinei was a reptilian spy sent to sway the vilification of Godzilla that was initially used, because in the first couple of movies he's a bad guy, but later on he fights invading monsters.
Yeah.
You know, so like I don't know, I thought that was like a really cool point. And if you translate Shinei Tokuge, it translates to what, Matthew?
Not a lizard.
Just saying.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
That's. I mean, I think we just blew the doors wide open on this one.
Sweet. So I guess this episode is not a debunk. This is a
Bunk.
It's completely bunked.
You know what? I'm sorry to doubt you earlier on. I mean,
yeah, you were giving them
just
slack.
yeah. Well, I mean, you mentioned old Sumerian texts. I myself, I'm kind of I'm an amateur part-time theologian, and I was reading this really, really interesting old scroll, and there was this he was like an emperor, basically, long time ago, back before the continents all separated. Pangea, precisely. It used to be called something different, but the means of translating has been since lost to history. But anyways, this king, he was very ruthless, just hell bent on power. And in these scrolls, there was a there was a large warrior, man whose family had been killed by this king. And one day, the man grows into a strong warrior, a powerful warrior, and he seeks to take down this emperor. Wow. So the emperor completely sees it coming. So basically, what happens is he winds up being captured, and then in order to demonstrate the warrior's folly, the king says something, and it's very, very loosely translated, to something like, power is not held in steel, like swords aren't power. And then with the flick of his hand, he waves, and this woman proceeds to jump from the top of a cliff, just killing herself instantly. And the king,
you're both crying.
The king looks at the warrior and says, "You see that? That is power." And the warrior, do you know what happened to that warrior?
No.
They're both crying.
Well, it turns out that he was expendable in the end. So,
Guys, okay,
Oh my fucking god.
Eric and Dave are both crying. Like, they're crying their little eyes out. And it's such a touching story.
Number one.
contemplate that.
No, you know what, though? You know what?
On the tree
I'm
of
also
woe.
a
Theologian?
theologian. And an episode... and in an episode...
I'm also with that.
And in season 4, episode 12, Bill Cosby says to Theo, "Now, Theo, you're not going to go out there and play with your friends. You got to finish your homework." And Theo says... Yeah, and Theo says, "Dad, what am I? Some type of lizard you can keep in a cage? No, I am a real man. And I want to play with my friends out in the yard."
Diminishing returns.
Now, I'm a
Theologian.
theologian. And if that story means something, then mine sure as hell does too.
Can you imagine Cosby doing the "What is best" speech from Conan to Theo? "The son, what's best in life? To rape the ladies."
They eat,
never tell.
Which is the subtext of the actual
they eat the jello when I say jello, lady parts.
I put them out the cherries.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you hear the lamentation of the wicked. Is it just me, or does doing a Cosby impersonation feel a lot just more gauche these days?
It's worse now.
Yeah,
You ruined it.
It's
Kind of
filthy.
feels what to me.
That's a niche puns.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da.
All right, number one, because I'm done with this string of jokes.
So number one on the
Number
list
one
of
is-
snakes Eric wants to fuck.
Yeah, number one reptilian celebrity.
Smells.
Cobra Commander.
Yep.
Very good. Absolutely.
In G.I. Joe the movie, it's revealed that he was a scientist from an ancient pre-human society called Cobra La. He bravely exposes his face to the world, revealing a pale, hairless, blue complexion with the trademark reptilian eyes. Later in the movie, the same spores that started his mutation turns him into a full-on snake.
Full on snakist?
Cobra la 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 la. I love that movie.
The Cobra Laws were actually my favorite Motown group. So
Yes.
It was actually a placeholder name that they made as a joke.
Oh, really?
And Hasbro said keep it.
nice.
Yeah. And that's
Hasbro,
all-
they're real discerning.
That's my top favorite reptilian celebs.
Those are good.
Nice.
Theme song.
Now back to the
Top
conspiracy.
5 favorite reptilian celebs, sugar-doo.
Cool. So back to Dave.
Not your best work.
I'm drunk.
Another point for you. Knowing full well the power structure of all of these lizard connections, upon being assassinated, first responders to JFK's death heard his final words, and they were which some suspect, was because most of his vocal apparatus had been blown off, or he was trying to
Jesus Christ.
indicate the presence of lizard people. Just saying.
I think, yeah, you know what? I can get on board with that. I have no rebuttal.
I'm JFK with that.
Well, that makes a lot of sense considering that
Jeff okay with that?
JFK was such a polarizing
JFK.
president. I mean, JFK, fact, first Catholic president. Wasn't a Catholic president up until that point. Fact, war hero. You've seen that picture of him on the destroyer.
Oh, I've seen
Looking
that
suave,
picture.
fighting war. Fact, had sex with everybody who wasn't his wife. And if the snake people are staunch adherents to anything, it's monogamy. Yeah, no, that just makes a lot of sense. JFK was just trying to warn us of the impending snake invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took him away from us.
He tried many times. He said, and he was trying to say, reptile.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the reptilian part of his brain cut him off every single time.
That's why it's there.
Wow.
Yep.
It's interesting that we also mentioned presidents because I just did a little bit of research while we were taking a break, and it's a very commonly held belief that George W. Bush was one of the lizard people.
That is.
Where do snakes hide?
I'm correct in that, right?
Yeah, very, very much.
Okay.
In bushes.
So, what major sort of like catastrophic event happened during George W. Bush's presidency?
9/11.
Right, 9/11 happened. And there's that massive controversy that the font Wingdings, 9, when you type 9 into Wingdings, it's a plane, and 11 are 2 buildings. But what most people don't know is when you type in George W. Bush, your computer gets a virus and your printer just starts to shoot out really, really bad, grainy ASCII pictures of George Bush eating flies. So that kind of lends credence to that theory.
Yeah, that lends credence to it like 100%.
Right.
Okay, I have another point here.
Wow.
This is more on the real side of things. Every culture, from the Mayans to the English, have some form of giant lizard or dragon in their early depictions of, whether it be a god or a presence on the hillside, and what are they? Probably reptilians.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad that we agree.
Yep.
Common knowledge.
Yeah. All right. Sorry to bring it up.
Stupid for even bringing it up. Like,
I just
we
had to
all
cover
know
the
this.
basics.
We've all watched Game of Thrones.
When we say representations of giant dragons in their art, do we mean like how every single sort of like culture historically has just picked themselves as having larger and larger penises in their hieroglyphics?
Yeah, because I think that you know and I know that we both generally like to refer to our penises as our dragons.
Yeah, because they drag on the floor.
Yeah.
What's everyone's nickname for their penis?
Mine's the bearded dragon.
St. George.
Mephisto.
Mine's the fear of God because I'm going to put it in you.
It's not dragon related.
My girlfriend calls mine cornstarch. Don't know why.
Because it's acceptable.
Stiff and pale.
It's just filler.
Not good for you, ultimately. Don't get it wet. Okay, so in 1993, there was a theory put out that... You okay?
Don't worry about him. Worry about my fucking show. Like,
oh, it's your show.
I was doing that.
It's your
That, but like nicely.
Okay, so in 1993, a theory was put out that a long time ago, the Earth was ruled by dinosaurs. And they were big dinosaurs, so not a lot of people went around hassling them.
Wait, dinosaurs are big?
Yeah.
some.
You okay, Dave? Asshole.
Actually, no people went around hassling them. Because there were no people yet. Just the first tiny mammals. Life was good. Then, something happened. A giant meteorite struck the Earth. Goodbye, dinosaurs. Now, this theory put forth was that what if the dinosaurs weren't all destroyed? What if the impact of that meteor created a parallel dimension where the dinosaurs continue to thrive and evolve into an intelligent, vicious, and aggressive species just like us? And what if they found a way back? And this theory was put forth in the first 30 seconds of the film Super Mario Brothers. Now I ask you, gentlemen, how well did Super Mario Brothers perform at the box office?
It tanked.
Exactly. I think I made my point there.
Bob Hoskins.
Mario and Luigi Mario. How many Marios are there between the two of you? There's 3. It wasn't that, but...
Dinosaurs.
Dino, not sorry.
A Jim Henson creation.
Oh, Jim Henson.
So, Dave, would you say that Jesus Christ was himself a lizard person?
Well, I mean, do you guys want to get into the how to identify a lizard person?
I kind of do, yeah.
Oh, let's see who of the 4 of us is a lizard person based on criteria.
Okay, so in a lot of research, according to the internet, this list, in this exact enumeration, in this exact form, appears in a lot of different places. Like how to spot a lizard person. Now, who put these on different sites and in different forums and why? I don't know. But here are the points. Okay, these 22 potential factors, not all guaranteed.
Okay.
But this is what the internet has told me indicates that you're a lizard person. 1, the predominance of green or hazel eyes that change color like a chameleon. But also, and the internet is careful to add, but also blue eyes.
Oh.
Okay.
True red or reddish hair. All gingers are reptilians or reptoids. Low pulse rate, low blood pressure. So most calm people, probably reptilians. Keen sight or hearing. ESPN, like a subscription. Extra rib or vertebrae. UFO connections. And also the band UFO, the guys that did Racer X. Love of space and science is apparently one of the factors. A sense of not belonging to the human race.
Dead giveaway.
Yep.
Immediately. Piercing eyes. Paranormal occurrences. That's the end of the point. Psychic dreams. Truth seekers, much like the 4 of us. A desire for higher wisdom. Empathetic illnesses. Deep compassion for fate of mankind. A sense of mission in life. And we'll bring that up later when we talk about Tom Cruise. Psychic abilities, unexplained scars on the body, capability to disrupt electrical appliances, and finally, alien contacts. This is, according to several GeoCities forums, the 22 ways to find out if you are dealing with a reptilian.
Now,
Do you just ask them?
I don't know.
Sup, honey?
It feels
Sup,
like-
honey, baby? Got any alien contacts?
It feels like the worst BuzzFeed article I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
guys,
Yeah.
I know someone who fits all those criteria.
I'm laughing.
The person who denied to come tonight, who was in the first episode, Callum.
It's true.
Are you saying Callum Ulysses McPhee is a lizard person? Because that's crazy.
I am willing to put money on it. Let's go through those one more time, just really quickly, and we'll
He
just
definitely
fire 'em
has
up.
either green or hazel or blue eyes.
Definitely does.
Yeah.
100%.
So that's there.
His hair is not red.
Right?
It's true.
Exactly.
It's reddish.
Hey, let's ask him now. Hey, Callum, is your hair not red? Can't deny
Exactly.
it.
Well, that just depends on what your perspective of red is. I mean, like,
Everyone sees color differently.
what if you're blind?
Reddish brown.
Yeah. How do we know if we're blind? How do we know that Callum's not?
Red.
Yeah, like if I was blind and I could ask Callum, like, hey, Callum, what color is your hair? And he could go, red, and I'm making giant air quotes. So, you know.
They're kind of blind to you saying this right now.
See, I just showed you all the futility of having hard limits and beliefs on things.
Exactly.
What's the next one there?
Low pulse rate, low blood pressure.
He's always so calm,
Super calm.
always calm.
And why else would he be drinking and smoking so much if not to raise his blood pressure to convince us that he's not a reptoid?
So basically, fuck Callum.
Yeah, that's what
You're
I'm hearing.
fired.
Until next week.
Keen sight or hearing. I think the glasses are a ruse.
Yeah, glasses are rude, but no, he
Do
can
you
hear.
think that Callum's trying to infiltrate our podcast to stop the truth from coming forth?
As a reptilian, I think that he is trying to do that, yeah.
I mean,
Or
he's
he's-
generally shitty at most things he does. So it would make the most sense for him to be here tonight.
He totally has ESPN on cable.
Yeah.
And last
He's a
week when I tried to
huge
make
sports
Mr.
fan.
Noodles, I tried to make Mr. Noodles at your house last week, and your microwave didn't work.
Because
Callum
it
was
didn't
here.
exist.
And then
It
he's
didn't exist.
Which Callum did with his lizard mind.
didn't that list
Lizard
say
brand.
like
Lizard mind.
His lizard Russell brand.
didn't that list say like empathetic illnesses as well? Like I
Yep.
could have swore when we were on break last week, he definitely told me he had menopause. So that's suspect.
I
right
stubbed
there.
my toe once and Callum, his entire leg broke.
What?
Yep.
That's so fucked up.
Wow.
Unexplained scars on body.
The
whole
other
back
day
is
after
cut
he
up.
left, I went to use the bathroom and I found like a full sheath of old Callum skin in my bathtub.
He's
Oh,
also got
man.
that weird birthmark on the back of his neck in the shape of Maya Angelou. I never knew what that was all about, but that just starts
I thought he was just a big
making sense.
fan, but
Well, yeah.
I thought it was a tattoo. It's really well done.
You can tell
no,
he totally,
it's a birthmark, man. Yeah, it's weird.
you can tell he totally doesn't feel like he belongs, you know?
I mean, he shouldn't. He's a fucking asshole.
And
And a reptile.
and a
Yeah,
reptile.
he's trying to kill us.
And those eyes, you know, those
Dead.
piercing,
Pierced. And
piercing,
dead.
simultaneously piercing and dead eyes.
Do you ever notice that they blink two ways?
Yeah,
They blink
One-
sideways and up and down?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
See, I've never noticed his eyes though, because I'm always just too busy looking at what he's packing in those pants. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm always like south
He's
of
got
the equator.
he's almost like he's got a snake in those trousers.
Trouser snake.
Or in his
Jesus.
boots.
I
Or
think-
in his boots.
I think the nickname for his dragon is just
Has anyone
Smog Wild.
seen a snake and Callum in the same room at the same time?
I
No.
can tell you, I have not.
Nope.
Callum McPhee, we're on to you.
Like snake in the grass.
You reptiloid.
Yeah, how come you're not here, Callum?
Cold-blooded
Piece of garbage.
motherfucker.
Off running the world's corporations and political offices.
Yeah.
Thanks for 9/11, you jerk.
Next point.
Okay, I found a list of very publicly known, widely accepted among people that watch the reptiloid theory closely. Very, very publicly known reptiloids. Former Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld,
Obvious.
high order reptilian.
Totally.
Former Secretary of State Colin Powell.
Colin Powell?
How are you just coming into a joke that happened like 8 years ago?
Well, he's the elected official that changed the world, right?
Former Secretary of State Colin Powell, reptilian of the highest order. According to this very particular GeoCities website, there is not only high order reptilian, but also reptilian of the highest order. Steve Wilkins, former White House janitor, low order reptilian.
Okay. But still a reptilian.
Yeah, I mean,
Because he's in that sphere of power.
He's more of
good
an
to-
intern.
They prefer
call
boa.
it tadpoles.
They prefer boa custodian.
it's damn it! I've been trying to do boa all night. And then, okay, so we have these reptilians, these reptoids, these rep, and they're all connected and they're in influential places of power. So I found an infographic that actually breaks down the lineage of some of the most powerful people.
Are you saying you have
America.
a picture to show a podcast?
I'm going to describe it. In the center of it, because these conspiracies were very important at the height of the Bush administration, is, of course, George W. Bush. But who is George W. Bush's 9th cousin, 3 times removed?
Cobra Commander.
Scooby-Doo.
Marilyn Monroe.
What?
Yep.
Weird.
George W. Bush's 11th cousin is Barack Obama, but his 9th cousin?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt. All of these potential reptilians. George W. Bush, 32 generations removed, Vlad the Impaler.
Holy fuck.
Right? All people in power that want to keep them in power. Also, Tom Hanks is in this picture. And Pocahontas.
But Tom Hanks is so nice.
And
So is
Pocahontas
Pocahontas.
is so sweet.
She's kind of a bitch to John Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Christian Bale had to come into him from the get-go.
Was Christian Bale John Smith in the Pocahontas movie?
I think so.
That is the worst casting I've ever heard.
I can show you the world.
The deleted scenes from that movie are really amazing.
Completely.
Because, like, Pocahontas, just like, they're the actress who plays her, just like blows a line. And he's just like, well, good for you. And then just tears a strip off her. And then gives her people liquor and firearms.
Yeah.
And
I'm familiar with history.
yeah, it's a dark deleted scene. It's pretty bad. Yeah,
Now,
that's not funny, Banana.
now I was convinced from the get-go. From the get-go.
From the gecko?
Banana. Now I was convinced from the get-go. But you have some even more astonishing points. What else you got there? Because that lineage is just blowing my mind.
I know. All, reptile people. Last point. And we can talk a little bit more, but you're going to follow me on this one.
All right.
Dale Russell.
Who the fuck is Dale Russell?
Didn't
Exactly.
he make The West Wing?
I feel like this is the opposite of following me.
Should we chug this beer before the last point?
I mean, this is like my one more. We have more to talk about, but North Carolina State Museum of Natural Sciences curator of paleontology once published a thought experiment where he projected that the dinosaurs may have possibly evolved. And if they had survived, he made a mock-up of what the skeleton would look like based on a single dinosaur. And it looks a lot like the initial cave drawings of lizard people as they are as these worshipped lizard beings. But no one ever heard from Dale Russell again. Okay? Now Dale, this is where it gets a little sticky. Dale means valley.
Yeah.
Valleys, we can say, are peaceful places. And knowing that, I then just took to IMDb to just start looking up people with peaceful names.
Okay.
All right? Maybe to find Dale Russell. Maybe to bring him in. I found evidence of a visual effects supervisor and best boy grip named Talmadge Peace Russell. He worked on Children of the Corn, visual effects, a bunch of stuff like that. But what was the last movie that he ever worked on?
Oh no.
Super Mario Brothers.
Wait. What? Wait, what? Wait, what?
Oh my God. I gotta
I'm actually I'm freaking out, man.
I gotta process this because you're just making too much sense, Dave. I didn't want to believe it when you came in here. I'm sorry for being
He was
so
a
combative.
visual. Sorry, what?
He was a visual. Here, this is even more interesting. He was a visual effects supervisor on a whole bunch of big budget Hollywood horror, and then he was busted down to best boy, like just a grip on Super Mario Brothers. And then last movie, never made another movie. I'm actually not making that up.
No.
For real. I think
That's crazy.
So he's the best boy down from a visual effects supervisor. That's like being like a cabin boy, but
Right?
on a film set.
It's not funny.
It was.
It's crazy.
It's actually not funny because in 2009 he had to move to Toronto and change his name to Eric Burke, and I think that I am a pretty fucking. I think I'm doing really well.
Oh my God, Eric.
David.
Dale.
Damn.
Wait, you're David Russell? Debunked!
All right, so next week on Conspiracy Theories, our conspiracy theorist will be me, Eric,
Spoilers.
and as a result, our guest host will be
Dave.
Proctor.
Me.
You,
Spoilers.
not me. And I'll be discussing Bigfoot.
You know what they say about big feet?
Conspiracy theories.
Big podcasts.
Stay tuned.
Conspiracy theories. The truth.
Out of all those
Conspiracy theories.